Happening now, COVID-19 hospitalizations take a big dip. What the latest numbers say about the pandemic in Chautauqua County. Plus, the push to pull back on Governor Cuomo's emergency powers.
Well, we have some sunshine out there early this afternoon, but some snow is going to be back in the forecast for the end of the week. We'll talk about it next. The News at Noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. We start with the COVID-19 pandemic and the number of those hospitalized with the virus in Chautauqua County falling to new lows today. In an update to the County Health Department's COVID-19 dashboard, officials reported 14 people were released from area hospitals, with 13 remaining for care. County health leaders also reported 27 new recoveries, with 181 active cases, down slightly from 186 the day before. There were 24 new cases of the virus identified, with 608 people in quarantine. The 7-day average percent positivity rate remained the same at 2%. To date, there have been more than 7,300 COVID-19 cases countywide, with 7,000 plus recoveries and 135 related deaths. Well, at this hour, more than 55 million COVID-19 vaccine doses have been shot into arms across the nation, and the World Health Organization is reporting a 16% decline in global coronavirus cases from just last week. As John Lawrence reports, this isn't stopping health officials from sounding the alarm on Americans letting their guards down too soon.
One of the things we need to make sure we do is we don't get complacent when we see those numbers go down.
A warning from the nation's top disease expert as daily coronavirus cases in America fall to their lowest number since mid-October, and the city of Chicago sees its lowest positivity rate ever.
Nice to see the numbers of cases drop, but it could be misleading.
Officials say there is good reason for the hesitancy.
The UK variant, the 117, that the modelists tell us will be probably dominant in our own country by the end of March.
But there is a silver lining as the UK variant rises in the U.S. Vaccines used in the U.S. seem to work well against it. The extreme winter weather gripping most of the country is throwing a wrench into several vaccination efforts in several states.
But this is a little glitch that we did not anticipate.
So we're continuing to monitor the weather and the shipments for the rest of the week. But we've seen a slowdown in the shipments.
Now the rollout for the general population to get vaccinated might be slower than the previously stated goal of end of April.
That timeline will probably be prolonged maybe into mid to late May and early June.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. Here in Chautauqua County, over 11,000 residents have been vaccinated with the first dose of the vaccine, making up 10% of the county's total population. So far, 5% of people here are fully vaccinated with the second shot. Well, next week's State of the County address is slated to focus on the COVID-19 pandemic's impact in the Chautauqua region. That's according to Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell, who will give his first State of the County address on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Wendell says the pandemic has changed the way his office looks at services countywide. He will highlight COVID's impact on county government operations, our local economy, and residents. He will also highlight his initiatives to move forward and what he says build back stronger following the pandemic. The presentation will be held during the regular meeting of the county legislature. The speech can be watched live on the Chautauqua County Government Facebook page. Well, following concerns that the National Comedy Center isn't welcoming to Jamestown residents, the business is launching a new program offering free tours to area youth. Starting tomorrow, the NCC's Family Field Trip program provides children throughout Chautauqua County free admission. The initiative runs through April 11th, aligning with local school districts' winter and spring breaks. In addition to an accompanying adult will receive a 60% discount on admission, paying just $10. Named the best new museum in the country by USA Today, the center offers several activities for the entire family, including the opportunity to draw your own cartoon, create your own internet meme, and take the stage for comedy karate, or karaoke rather, and put this, that would be interesting, karate, wouldn't it? Put yourself in scenes from some of the greatest TV and movie comedies of all time. The National Comedy Center is open Thursdays through Monday from 10 a.m. to 5 and closes on Tuesday and Wednesdays while COVID safety protocols are in place. Officials say advanced registration is strongly recommended. You can learn more at comedycenter.org/family. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now on this very sunny Wednesday. We'll get to our First Defense weather forecast in just a moment. But first, let's check in with the comments. And good to see Teresa. Good to see Terry, Ken, Joseph. Happy Wednesday to you. Great to see Cindy, Daniel, and Amanda as well. Let us know what you think about these stories and more down in the comments below, or simply say hello. We love hearing from you. Well, now let's get a check of that aforementioned forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with
and I almost fell over.
Karate. Don't fall, Mr.
Yeah,
Hunter.
I know. I almost fell into the set, and that wouldn't have been a good thing.
No.
But karate, Justin?
Yeah, that's, you know what? Sometimes there's a typo in the script. Mm-hmm. The producer says it was spelled correctly, but it just moves so fast. They just move it so fast.
Right.
It's like they're prodding me to.
Mm-hmm. That means hurry it up.
Right.
Same thing they do with me in weather. They give me the wrap-up symbol.
Right.
But anyway, this is a live look over Salamanca, and hey, we actually see some peaks of sunshine and a few light snowflakes falling. And the radar basically shows you the biggest chance for snow basically through the early afternoon is mainly going to be right near the Lake Erie shoreline today. You'll likely see the most amount of snow there, and then the snow will ultimately start to taper off a little bit as we go throughout the day. And across the region right now, yeah, not much going on. And we actually should see some breaks in the cloud cover through the afternoon as well. 6 inches of snow on the ground right now at the airport, 9.4 inches for the month. And look at our seasonal total, still way below average to where we should be for the season, almost 73 inches. 32 was the high yesterday. That was an early morning high. Temperature slid all the way down through the afternoon. Look at where we started the day. 5. Man, it was frigid. 63 and 19 below zero are the record highs and lows. So through the afternoon and early afternoon, a snow shower, otherwise partly to mostly sunny. And it will be a cold day with light winds. 17 on the hills, 23 near the Lake Erie shoreline with a light wind. So light wind means not a big wind chill index. But we've got some more snow on the way for tomorrow and Friday. And we'll time it all out with that 42 degrees and sunny 7-day forecast later in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, certainly looking forward to it. And hopefully you can stay sunny in it.
Aha.
Get it? Thank you. Well, New York State's governor is looking to reform for-profit nursing homes. Governor Andrew Cuomo hinting at that possibility of reforming the entities during a press briefing this week, where he spent much of his time defending his nursing home policies throughout the pandemic. Cuomo believes for-profit nursing homes should be mandated to put a certain amount of money back into the facility. He says the state will look at making reforms before his budget cycle.
Everything becomes one or the other. Do you want to hire more staff, or do you want to make more profit? Do you want to buy more PPE and stockpile more PPE, or do you want to make more profit? Do you want to buy new equipment, new beds, new sheets, new furniture, invest in the facility, or do you want to make more profit?
Cuomo made the announcement in the middle of a lengthy defense of some criticism over his handling of the nursing home information during the pandemic. More than 13,000 nursing home residents in New York State have died from COVID-19. Well, in the wake of the administration's pandemic nursing home controversy, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle now are calling for a rollback of Governor Cuomo's emergency powers. New York State Capitol correspondent Karina Campabianca with more on the effort to take back powers restored almost a year ago.
President Biden pitching his one.
The New York State Legislature granted the governor the ability to issue executive orders to cope with the pandemic back in March for the health and welfare of the public. With those powers due to expire on April 30th, lawmakers have options to extend them, not renew them, or vote to eliminate them sooner. While the chambers are not scheduled to be in session this week, Republicans have called for a special session to remove them.
We've been calling on it since last year for the emergency powers to be revoked. And when you think about it, probably the policies will be pretty similar, under one-party control. But the difference is that the legislators will be held accountable to their constituents.
During his press briefing yesterday, the governor said the legislature can reverse any action that he takes.
Not even by a bill, just by passing 50% of the Assembly and the Senate. They have never reversed a single action.
The law states that the legislature may terminate by concurrent resolution executive orders at any time. Assemblywoman Pat Fahey says while it made sense for the governor to have the powers last year to make split-second decisions rather than have the legislature deliberate, it's time to reevaluate them.
The pandemic is definitely not over, but the emergency part is. So it is time for us to rein in the emergency powers as well as reassert the balance of powers.
Fahey also notes that when it comes to the governor's executive orders, not all of them are tied to the emergency powers, and that many of them he would have been able to issue anyway due to his executive authority. In Albany, Karina Capabianca.
Karina, thank you. Both New York State Senator George Borrello and Assemblyman Andy Goodell have been outspoken about rolling back the authority. Borrello says it is far past the time for the legislature to return to their constitutional obligation by being a co-equal branch of government. Next, here a lot more to tell you about. Chautauqua County officials are slated to discuss legalizing marijuana during a meeting today. What that conversation will most likely focus on. And a bit later, we tell you about new emojis that are headed to a phone near you. Stay with us on this very sunny Wednesday afternoon.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today, online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Remember when you were a kid, huddled around the television waiting for your school to close? Well, we don't get snow days. When winter weather hits, count on the First Defense Weather Team for a look into the future where the snow is headed next. Live radar showing you the scope of the storm. And real-time reports from the field. So when it matters most, stay with First Defense Weather.
Catch your First Defense forecast daily on WNY News Now. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Chautauqua County officials will once again address the potential legalization of marijuana in New York State. According to the Chautauqua County Public Safety Committee agenda, the group will discuss the implications of legalizing it during its February meeting this afternoon. The talks come as Governor Andrew Cuomo included a proposal and subsequent amendment to legalize recreational marijuana in New York State, officially called the Cannabis Regulation and Taxation Act, in his 2021-22 executive budget. The governor and other state officials have fallen short in recent years to legalize recreational marijuana across New York. Distribution of revenue was one of the biggest reasons. Revenue will be a major topic when the Assembly and Legislature consider the governor's budget. Municipalities with a population of greater than 100,000 would be able to opt out under the proposal. Well, compensation surrogacy is now legal across the state. This after the Child Parent Security Act went into effect this week. The new law allows New York couples to enter a contract with a surrogate who is not genetically related to their embryo. The law includes a surrogate's Bill of Rights, which provides them with the right to an independent lawyer and comprehensive health care. Right now, compensation for carries varies based on various areas and factors. It ranges anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000. The total cost for the process can cost a parent anywhere between $100,000 to $150,000. Well, President Joe Biden says he thinks there should be enough COVID vaccine for everyone by the end of July. He made that prediction in his first town hall since becoming president, where he also spoke about issues like school reopening and forgiving student debt. Jeremy Diamond with the details.
President Biden pitching his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package during a CNN town hall.
Hey, folks.
Giving Americans a new timeline for a return to normal with a dose of cautious optimism.
As my mother would say, with the grace of God and the goodwill of the neighbors, that by next Christmas, I think we'll be in a very different circumstance, God willing, than we are today. But we don't know. So I don't want to overpromise anything here.
Biden pledging there will be enough vaccines for all Americans within 5 months.
By the end of July, we'll have over 600 million doses, enough to vaccinate every single American.
Even as he warned it would take longer to get those shots in arms.
When you say by the end of July, do you mean that they will be available or that people will have been able to actually get them? Because Dr. Fauci...
They'll be available.
In the meantime, Biden wants to prioritize teacher vaccinations, even as he warned it's up to states to decide who gets access when.
I think that teachers and the folks who work in the school, the cafeteria workers and others, should be on the list of preferred to get a vaccination. But I can't tell the state you must move such and such a group of people up.
The president also clearing up comments made by the White House press secretary last week when she suggested hitting school reopening goals could mean only 1 day of in-person learning a week.
There was a mistake in the communication. What I'm talking about is I said opening the majority of schools in K through 8th grade because they're the easiest to open, the most needed to be open in terms of the impact on children and families having to stay home.
So when do you think that would be K through 8, at least 5 days a week, if possible?
I think we'll be close to that at the end of the first 100 days. We'd have a significant percentage of them being able to be opened. My guess is they're going to probably be pushing to open all summer.
As congressional Republicans push for a smaller relief package, Biden standing firm.
We can't spend too much. Now's the time we should be spending. Now's the time to go big.
But the president's more moderate politics on display on other issues like police funding and immigration reform. Biden again rejecting a proposal introduced by a group of top congressional Democrats aimed at canceling up to $50,000 in federal student loan debt per borrower, saying he has other priorities.
I will not make that happen. But I do think that in this moment of economic pain and strain, that we should be eliminating interest on the debts that are accumulated, number one. And number two, I'm prepared to write off the $10,000 debt, but not $50,000.
Jeremy, thank you. The president plans to travel to Michigan tomorrow to tour a Pfizer vaccine manufacturing plant. Well, Christians around the globe are starting the Lenten season with a visit to a church today. Ash Wednesday kicks off Lent, which lasts 46 days leading up to Easter Sunday. Believers will mark the occasion with an ash cross on their forehead, which represents death and repentance. Many Christians will then choose to fast or give up something they enjoy for the period. Easter Sunday is April 4th. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we get a check of some local news headlines that matter to you and stories from around the world as well. Hopefully you're having a good day. Great to see Monica. Good to see Eva, Barbara, Mary, Jamie, and Brittany as well. Hopefully you all are having a good day. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below, or simply say hi because we love to hear from you. Another person that we generally love to hear from, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
We're generally
it depends
put in there?
It really depends on what you're talking about. I mean, you know, we love you, but sometimes if
People
you got
didn't
some
like
doom and
me
gloom.
yesterday. Woo, boy.
Yeah, but I'd rather have, I don't want to dwell too much on the past, but
Right.
I think the bust is fine. You know what? We have sunshine today. I'm not mad at all. At all.
Yeah, but still, you didn't have to read some of the messages I got. I
Yeah.
mean, woo, boy.
They were pretty.
They were nasty.
Well,
but you know what? That's just the way it is in this business. But you know what? Speaking about yesterday, how about let's talk about last night? These were the low temperatures this morning where we bottomed out. 5 here in town, 5 Warren, 4 Titty Ute, 2 in Fredonia. Want to go lower? How about 1 below 0? In Mayville, also in Bradford, even lower, 3 below 0. In East Aurora up there in Erie County. So it was a very frigid start out there this morning. And man, this is one of the coldest mornings we've had so far this winter. And we had a little bit of snow last night, as we told you was going to be the case. DeWittville, 3.2 inches, Little Valley 3, Mayville 3, Cattaraugus 2, 1.8 here in town, 1.5 Falconer, 1.3 in Silver Creek. So, you know, the snow wasn't all that bad, but we got a little bit more snow to add on to those snowpacks. And the ice coverage on Lake Erie, this is actually from a couple days ago. This is the best image we were able to get. But you can see where the ice actually is on Lake Erie. Right now, Lake Erie is 81.1% frozen, and we don't know if it's going to officially freeze by the end of the month because we've got some warmer air coming in, but we'll ultimately see where it ultimately ends up. 19 as a noon hour at the Jamestown Airport. No wind to speak of, which means we don't have a wind chill index that we have to mess with for the afternoon, and the winds are going to ultimately stay light through the day. The radar shows you where we have some of those scattered snow showers, mainly right near the Lake Erie shoreline, moving inward. So places like Forestville, Silver Creek, Dunkirk, Fredonia, and then out into the western section of Cattaraugus County near Gowanda. You're seeing a few of those snowflakes, but all in all, that's going to be just, yeah, who cares kind of snow. Look at this, more snow again down in the deep south, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, getting more snow and even some wintry precipitation right there, that pink line. This is the next storm system that's heading our way for tomorrow. It's another fast mover, so let's show it to you on Future Scan. Nothing through the day. It does pick up on a couple of those isolated snow showers, mainly northward. Tonight should be mainly dry, but there could be a couple isolated snow showers, mainly from the state line southward. I think is going to be the best chance for seeing any of those snowflakes later on tonight. Tomorrow should start mainly dry. Then as the storm system actually works its way across the east coast, we're actually going to see the influx of more moisture coming in once again with widespread snow showers through the day tomorrow. And then that's going to continue through the day tomorrow. Now Friday is going to be a very interesting situation because even though it's not depicted, we actually could mix in a little bit more sleet once again through the day on Friday. So these are the snow totals going all the way through Friday. Not a big deal. And again, we're talking about maybe about 2 to 3 inches at most. The higher totals is actually going to be further south and east. That's where you get closer to the storm center. That's ultimately where the highest snow totals are going to be. So inland areas today, we're likely going to top out maybe in the lower to mid 20s through today. This is actually below average, and it's going to be a cold day, but at least the sun will be out to make it feel warmer. How about the future? Next 7 days coming up right now, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny, 29 tomorrow, snow later in the afternoon, 30 on Friday, maybe some sleet around here, maybe later in the day. Saturday, 21, scattered snow showers, cold and sunshine, at least a few peaks of sun on Sunday, 28. And look at the temperatures go back into the 30s as we head into early next week with a few snow showers. We'll take a break. Be right back. First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
And welcome back. Apple's mixing it up with its latest batch of new emojis. The tech company recently updated its operating system, and in that update brought a slew of new icons. The new emojis include a face with spiral eyes, a face hiding in the clouds, and different genders with beards. For those in love, there is also a new heart on fire emoji, and those out of love can use the new mending heart emoji. According to Emojipedia, more than 200 emojis are slated to be released this year. The tech company also made a slight change to its syringe emoji. The syringe used to look like a drip of blood was coming out of it. Well, Apple redesigned it, removing the blood to make it less graphic and more versatile. And get this, Dakota, Emojipedia saw an upward trend in the syringe emoji used in 2020. Wonder why?
Yeah, that's nuts. I don't know. I don't really have any comment, I guess, on that. But
I like emojis. You know, I think I've used the syringe emoji a couple of times.
I've never used it.
No, the mask one is. I send that quite a bit now.
That's something I don't really use.
You don't. See, I love to talk in emojis. I guess I'm just one of those millennials who, I don't know. I think it brightens up your text thread. I mean, obviously, if I'm like texting something serious, I'm not going to send an emoji, but you know, just give it a little something new.
Well, I mean, it's like, you know, I use emojis, but it's like I only use like the basic emojis, like smiley face, frowning face, crying with the tears of joy, or stuff like that. That's what I use. I don't really use
or just
any of those
crying
fancy,
in general.
I mean, I don't really use any of those fancy emojis. I just don't. I mean, that's just not the. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah.
So.
Well, hey, you know, emoji it up if you like that. Check out the new emojis. I'm going to actually right now. So. Good to see Angela. Good to see Lori.
Are the new emojis in the 14.5?
I think they said it was coming out in the latest update. That's a good question.
Because I have 14.5 running on my phone for a reason.
Right. You're in the beta program, right?
Yeah. But there's another reason I have it. A really cool feature.
Oh, yeah. The watch face thing.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. We were talking about that the other day.
Well, I don't know if we ever mentioned it, but in the 14.5 update for iOS and the 7.5 for Apple Watch, there is a new feature where if you're wearing a mask, Face ID will automatically detect you're wearing a mask and will unlock your phone with your Apple Watch.
Pretty cool.
It is really cool. I've been using it for about a week or so now, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's very stable. I mean, it's just as quick as Face ID. So it's like when you hold up your phone and it unlocks with Face ID, it's just about as quick. I mean, it is fantastic.
You should do a video on it. I think that'd be cool. I think you should do a report. Let us know.
Let's get our photogs, and we'll get a photog in here, and we'll do a demo video.
Dakota can talk about it, explain what it's like. And then once it comes out, people can get a real good look at it. I mean, I think it'd be really awesome.
It is
to have.
I mean, you know, I guess the best way to explain it is if you have a Mac and you have your Apple Watch set to unlock your Mac, it works the same way. It's automatic. As soon as Face ID detects, it automatically sends a request to Apple Watch, and if your watch is unlocked on your wrist, it'll unlock your phone.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's
no more
great
entering your
feature.
passcode if you're wearing a mask.
Nobody likes passcodes.
No, I don't even know my passcode. I'm just kidding. I do.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Dakota's got to figure out his passcode to get back in. News 24/7, WNYNewsNow.com. Have a great day.